Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In today's video, we're going to be, once again, comparing and contrasting the events of the Harry Potter books and the Harry Potter films. I've done quite a few of these videos recently, but most of them are addressing specific characters like Draco and Voldemort. This video, on the other hand, will be taking a more general look at the differences between them. Today, I'm going to be discussing 15 big things from the books that were completely omitted from the films. Now, there were a lot of aspects of the books omitted, so I certainly won't be including everything, but the ones I've chosen here should definitely contain new information for those that have only seen the films. Without further ado, let's get started. 1. Voldemort's death. Kicking things off in large fashion, we have Voldemort's death. In the films, after Voldemort is defeated by Harry at the end of the Battle of Hogwarts, his body seems to disintegrate into nothing. However, this does not happen in the books, and seem to be only included for dramatic effect. In the books, Voldemort simply collapsed onto the ground, just like anyone else would. Incidentally, Voldemort, who sought immortality for his entire existence, truly died a mortal's death. 2. The mock Slytherin song. The Sorting Hat song wasn't the only song omitted from the films, and if you didn't know about that one, that's an extra. In fact, another important song was omitted as well, a song recreated by Gryffindor students that was devised to mock Slytherin House and their Quidditch team. The song Weasley is Our King was actually originally devised by Slytherin students with the goal of mocking Ron, referring to him as their king because of all of the goals that he let in as keeper. However, the song was eventually used against them and modified by the Gryffindor team in order to increase Ron's confidence, which in turn helped them to win the cup. 3. Marauders. The Marauders, a group of troublesome young boys who attended Hogwarts in the 1970s, was comprised of Sirius Black, Remus Lupin, James Potter, and Peter Pettigrew, aka Padfoot, Moony, Prongs, and Wormtail. If you read the books, you'll know about the Marauders, but if you didn't, then you probably don't know much. In fact, the films never reveal that all 4 boys learned to transform into animals, became animagi, in order to make Remus feel better, who was a werewolf. 4. SPEW. SPEW, aka the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare, is an aspect of the books that didn't appear in the films at all. In the books, Hermione embarks on a crusade to ensure that house elves, who are heavily mistreated, are saved. Hermione starts the society after she sees Winky, an elf who isn't in the films, being treated horribly. She also took the time to read up on and understand the thousands of years of oppression that they had gone through. 5. Petunia's rejection. Petunia Dursley, aka Petunia Evans, aka Harry's horrible aunt, wasn't always so horrible. In 1971, however, her path of darkness began, as it was that year that Lily, her sister, Harry's mum, received her letter to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It was a momentous occasion for the family. The youngest daughter of the Evans family was a witch. When Petunia saw Lily receive her letter, she felt a rush of emotions, confusion, anger, but most of all, jealousy, and despite not being magical, she felt compelled to write a letter to none other than Albus Dumbledore. Hoping to be a part of the magical school herself, Petunia stated her case to Dumbledore and asked if she could study there with her sister. However, given that Petunia was not magical in any way, Dumbledore had to politely decline Petunia's request. 6. Dobby gave Harry Gillyweed. In the Goblet of Fire film, right before facing the second task, Neville Longbottom gives him Gillyweed, which allows him to breathe underwater. However, in the books, though Harry still gets Gillyweed, it's actually Dobby that gives it to him. Dobby obtained the Gillyweed from Snape's office after stealing it using his elfish magic. 7. The Elder Wand. At the end of the films, Harry stands amidst the rubble post-Battle of Hogwarts, Elder Wand in hand. In the very next moment, Harry snaps the Elder Wand in half, throwing the broken pieces off the edge of the path. In the books, however, the Elder Wand has a different fate, as Harry ends up laying the wand to rest in Dumbledore's grave, reunited with its old master. 8. Marietta Edgecombe. In the Order of the Phoenix, Harry and others formed Dumbledore's army, a sort of rebellion that challenged the tyrannical regime impressed upon Hogwarts by the Ministry. It was a place where students could properly learn how to defend themselves, that is, until they were found out. In the films, Cho Chang is shown to be the reason for the group being exposed. However, in the books, it's actually Cho's best friend, Marietta Edgecombe, that rats out the group. 9. Veela. In the Goblet of Fire, the students of Beauxbaton walk into the Hogwarts Great Hall and create quite the spectacle. The male student body is enamored with the beauty of Fleur Delacour and other female students. However, it's never explained why. Well, the books do explain why. It's because Fleur was a Veela, one quarter anyway. The concept of a Veela isn't really touched on much in the film, but those who read the books know that Veelas are semi-human magical beings resembling beautiful women with white gold hair. Veelas are known to enchant men in this form. However, when angry, Veelas take on another, less pleasant appearance. 10. Harry entered the Cruciatus curse. After Hogwarts had been breached by Voldemort and the Death Eaters, it took on some new staff, Amicus and Alecto Caro. To say these professors were unpopular would be an understatement. However, fortunately for Harry, he did get a chance to use the Cruciatus curse on Amicus Caro. At one point, Voldemort sends Death Eaters to check on the Ravenclaw Tower. Amicus was among the followers who demanded entry into the tower from Professor McGonagall, but when McGonagall called Amicus a coward, he spat right in her face, which Harry saw firsthand. Unable to contain himself, Harry slammed Amicus into the wall and cast the torture curse on him. 11. Rita Skeeter. Rita Skeeter, an infamous journalist who specialized in defamation pieces for the Daily Prophet, wasn't actually included much in the films, but we still got the sense that she was awful. However, in the books, more is revealed about Skeeter, like the fact that she was an animagus. That's right, Skeeter was able to transform into a beetle, which allowed her to sneak around and collect tons of juicy info. 12. Whomping Willow. The Whomping Willow is a staple of the Hogwarts grounds that's featured in both the book and film. In the film, Harry and Ron have a bit of an issue with it when Ron's flying Ford Anglia is struck by the giant tree. However, beyond this, we don't get a ton of info on the Whomping Willow. In the books, it's revealed that the tree was planted on the grounds in order to cover up a secret passage leading from Hogwarts to the Shrieking Shack. This allowed Remus Lupin to travel around unnoticed when he needed to transform. 13. Dumbledore's past. Dumbledore's a Harry Potter staple, and we learn a lot about him in both the books and films. However, what the films essentially gloss over entirely is Dumbledore's backstory, which includes his relationship with Grindelwald, the fatal incident involving his sister, Ariana, and his relationship with his brother, Aberforth. 14. Voldemort's past. Just like Dumbledore, we see a lot of Voldemort in the books and films. However, we certainly get to know him a lot better in the books. For the most part, the films gloss over Voldemort's backstory, like the fact that his mother, Merope, used a love potion on his father Tom, which was actually the main reason for his inability to feel love. 15. Snowballs and Voldemort. Ending on a lighter note, in a scene that was omitted from the films, Fred and George Weasley at one point in the Philosopher's Stone enchanted a bunch of snowballs, which they directed at the back of Quirrell's head. I find this one hilarious because, as is revealed later, that's where Voldemort's face was. And that's it for this video. Did you watch the films first or read the books first? Comment down below. Until next time, remember, the truth, it is a beautiful and terrible thing, and should therefore be treated with great caution.